Alright guys, welcome back to the final part of this Hangman Python series, the moment we've been waiting for. So in this final part of the series, we are actually creating the main Hangman function, which is going to run the game, and which is also going to make use of the previous functions that we created earlier in the previous parts of the series. So without further ado, let's just begin and get right into it. So let me define Hangman. This is the main Hangman function that's going to run the game, and which has a parameter of the word, which is a secret word that the user has to guess. So let's start off with this function with printing welcome to Hangman. So this is the kind message that lets the user know that they're playing Hangman and not any other game. So let's end that with print. Quite simple so far. And let me print out also how many letters the secret word has. So that's the information it's going to start of giving. It's going to give the user information how many letters the secret word has, which they have to guess. So let's say the word has, and how do you find the number of letters in a word? You have to do len of word. But recall that you cannot concatenate a str to an int. As you can see, len word is going to give us an int. So you concatenate str to int, it's not going to work. So in order, you can only concatenate string to a string. So how we fix this problem? Just convert this len word to a str. So therefore, you're combining this string with this string. And let me end that with plus letters. So it's going to say something like, this word has 5 letters, the word has 6 letters. That's how it's going to print it out to you in this program. And then our next thing we're going to do is create our empty list called letters guessed. Recall, this is the list that we have used in our previous functions that we created. We can see that this is the same exact list as the parameter we're going to pass. So in this Hangman word, we're going to be passing in this letters guessed to our previous functions. So as you can see, it's the exact same name, letters guessed here and letters guessed here. So letters guessed is going to be essentially just the letters that we have guessed so far. So we create that one, and we're going to have another variable called tries count. So in the original game Hangman, there's a visual, but in this one we're not going to use the visual. We're just going to go straight to the logic. So in the game of Hangman, there is 8 tries. So let's just start with tries count equals 8, since there's 8 tries in Hangman. And after that, then we have this while loop. Well, tries count is greater than 0. So as long as our tries is greater than 0, so as long as we can, have any number of tries up, then we can keep guessing. So while is going to basically have the entire game in this while loop right here. And if while tries count equals 0, so if tries count equals 0, we have no more tries left, and that'll be game over. So that's kind of logic we're going at right here. So while tries count is greater than 0, and now what we're going to do is have quite a few conditions. There's quite a few conditions that we're going to be using here to check, the user has guessed a letter, and if the user guessed the letter that's in the word, if the user has guessed the word correctly, or if they haven't guessed correctly. We'll be going through step by step for each condition. So my first condition, what I'm going to do here in this while loop, is basically if the user has won the game or has guessed the word correctly. And so if they guess the word correctly, it's going to just break out of this while loop. So let's do if actually we have already created this function. This is basically checking if the user has won the game. The guess word function we created earlier in the series. So let's just use that, right? If guessed word, essentially guessed word of word, which is what we're having in as a secret parameter. I mean the secret word parameter, and letters guessed. So letters guessed, as we recall, is this empty list right there. Yeah, and then essentially what we're going to do after that is if they have guessed the word correctly, then all we need to do is print congratulations. So if they have guessed the word correctly, then we're going to print congratulations, you have won the game. The word was, and it's going to tell us what the word was, what word they guessed correctly. So word, which is here. Let's actually print an empty print statement just to make it more clean when we actually see the output here in the program. So it's going to give like a new line and then print out congratulations. And then what we're going to do is do break. because we're going to break out of this entire loop to indicate that we've won the game. And if we won the game, there's no need to be in this while loop anymore. So that is our first basic condition right here. And so basically, if they have guessed the word, then print congratulations. Else, we're gonna print out the available letters are. So we're gonna make use of the available letters function, which means what are the letters that we have not guessed yet. So we're gonna use that there. So else just essentially means if we have not guessed the word yet, and so we're in the guessing stage. So we're gonna print, and we're gonna just do print open and close parentheses just to make it more clean. So then we're gonna do print the available letters. So the available letters are we're gonna use that function. Available letters guessed. Just to show what letters the user has not guessed yet. So letters guessed, and then we're gonna also print out how many tries you have left. How many tries you have left. Then you say print you have stir because you're concatenating stir with the stir. You have to make sure this is a string right here. So tries count, recall, is a int. So you're gonna have to cast that type to a string, so that way it will work here. So tries count, and then tries left. So that's the information it's going to give us here. The available letters are this, and how many tries do we have left. And then we're going to have our input. So this is what's going to input the user to guess the word. So guess equals input, enter a letter to guess the word. So, it's just going to have us input a letter. So guess equals input, enter a letter to guess the word. And we're going to convert that to lowercase so that it makes it easier to make comparisons later on in this program. So basically, you're going to have them input a letter to guess the word. And then after that, what we're going to do is, right after that, we're going to have a different condition here. So if like the user inputs not an alphabet letter, then it's going to give us an error message. So is alpha is the way to check if we're actually inputting an alphabet letter, or the len of the guess is not equal to 1. So to make it clear, this condition is checking if the user is entering one alphabetic letter. They cannot enter a number. That's not going to work. So this is what the guess, if not guess is alpha is checking. If they're not entering a alphabet letter, and len of guess is not equal to 1. So they have to only input one letter. They cannot input two letters in their input statement. So then, if it satisfies the condition, so then you're going to have to print out you can type, or only type one alphabetic character. So then it's going to ask us that, and then print letters. We're going to call print letters word letters guessed. So print letters, as we recall, is just going to, print out the format. It's either going to do the underscore or the actual letter. Like if you guess a letter, it's going to replace the underscore with that letter. So actually it was print letters like that. And then that's basically that condition. So then what we're going to do is now we're going to have another condition in this else. So if is basically else if. So if guess. So if our guess is in the letters guessed. If that letter guess is in the letters guessed, then this essentially means letters guessed is just the letters we have guessed so far. So if we're guessing a letter that we have already guessed before, then it's going to say you cannot type letters you have already guessed, or like you have already guessed this letter. But we can say in this format, you cannot type letters that you have already guessed. So let's say I guess B and this time, and then next time I guess B again in the same round, then it's gonna give me this message that's saying you cannot type letters you have already guessed. So cannot type letters you already guessed. And then as we did before, in this condition right here, we just essentially need to do print letters word guessed, word comma letters guessed. This prints out the format, which would be a combination of letters and underscores, and you can see that through right over here. This is the format. Okay, so that is that. For this condition, we have this. So the guess and letters guessed. And then our next condition, there's quite a bit of conditions, but we can go through it. So if guess in a word. So if our guess is in this word, so if the letter we guess is in the word, and our guess also at the same time is not in the letters we have guessed before. So this is a new guess. So this is a new guess, and we have guessed a letter that's in the word. Then we're gonna do letters guessed. So this is, recall, our empty list that we created earlier in this Hangman word function. So this is the empty list that we created earlier, but this list is going to store the letters we are guessing, or what we have guessed so far. So dot append the guess. So letters guess dot append guess. And then, because this is a very good condition, which means we've guessed a letter that is already in the word. I mean, we've guessed a letter that is in the word correctly. Then we have a good guess. Oh wow, well this is already, auto completing it for me. Let's just type it out our own way though. So good guess, plus guess, and recall we don't need to do stir guess because guess is already going to be a string. Is in the word. And then we're gonna do what we've been doing always before. So we're gonna just do, we're just gonna do the print letters word letters guessed right here that we had before. Okay, plus the print letters word letters guessed. Okay, something what happened here. Let me just expand this. Okay, good. Let me look through this. So print good guess. Let me give a plus guess plus is in the word. Let me just move this back here, and then plus print letters. Okay, so let's actually do comma because that's what we've been doing this whole time. In this previous, so comma print letters, and then word comma letters guess. So that is our next condition. So now we have another condition yet again. So this condition is going to meant to check if they guessed incorrectly. So if they guess a letter incorrectly, so if they guess a letter and it's not in the word, what we're gonna do. So then we're gonna just do letters. So we're gonna also at the same time append this guess to a letters guess list. So this shows the list of letters that the user has guessed. So then on the other hand, if the guess is not in the word, then we're gonna print oops, this letter is not in the word. So something like that. So let's do oops, guess plus guess plus then is not in the word. And then we're gonna so print letters. So this is kind of like the same format every time. We're just having a comma and then calling the print letters function, which is the format. And then what we're gonna do next, also at the same time, we're gonna have to decrement the tries count by 1. So we are guessing a letter that is not in the word, then we have to decrement the tries count by 1. So do not forget that. And then now our last but not least condition of this Hangman function, we made it. So then our last condition is going to be right over here. So it's not going to be over here, like right here with these previous conditions. It's going to be outside of that. So then we're going to actually have it outside. So we have the else here. As you can see that. Then we're going to have the last condition. So then our last condition is now going to be tries count. If tries count equals 0, which means we have lost the game. Because if tries count equals 0, then no more tries are allowed, and therefore we lost. So then we're gonna just do print, just open close parentheses to give a new line, and then print sorry you have run out of tries. We're not gonna say you have lost. we're gonna say you have run out of tries. That's another way to say that. Okay, so the word was. So the word. Sorry, you ran out of tries. The word was word. So sorry, you ran out of tries. The word was this. It's gonna give us a secret word. If our oops. If our basically if our we run out of tries, that's gonna print out what the actual word was. So then we're gonna do break. So break means it's gonna go out of this loop right here, the while tries count greater than 0 loop that we had earlier. So then that is pretty much it for our hangman word function. Woohoo! But we're not done yet. Now we have one step remaining. It's pretty quick though. We need to have our main function that's actually gonna call this hangman function. So we create the function, but we have to call it in order to actually run it. So let us actually go down here and let's do def main. Def main right below here. So def main. Okay, and then what we're gonna do now is we're gonna say word equals generate words. So recall this is essentially what we did at the way start of our hangman program. Yeah, so but now we don't need the print word because we're not gonna give us the answer at the beginning, right? That's gonna give the answer away. But let's keep it now just to check, just to make sure that our hangman game is working correctly. So then we're gonna go back here to word equals generate words, and we're gonna call our hangman function, which passes in that secret word. So hangman word is just this entire function that we have up here. It just basically runs the entire game there. So then what we're gonna do here is now we want to once the round has finished, we want to ask the user if they want to keep playing again or not. So let's just do while input play again. So play again. It's gonna have them either saying yes or no. Yes means they're gonna play another round again and again and again. If they say no at one point, then it's just gonna terminate the program. So while while input play again yes or no, dot lower just to make sure that let's say they type uppercase Y E uppercase, right? Then wait, actually let me finish this. So equals so now it's gonna make a lot more sense why I have a lower. So let's say they type uppercase Y lowercase es, then it's gonna say then this is now gonna be equal. Like if you don't have the lower, then it's gonna compare the uppercase Y es to the all lowercase y es, which is not gonna be correct. So in order to deal with that, we have to convert what the user inputs. So it can be like all uppercase. Then it's going to convert all of that to lowercase. Then it's going to convert all of that lowercase to this all lowercase yes. So even if I typed all uppercase yes, it's gonna this dot lower is converting that to lowercase, then comparing that to lowercase yes. So yeah, that's basically what I'm doing here. And then so while it equals yes, then we're gonna keep going. So word equals generate words. So it's just the same thing that I did up here earlier. Word equals generate words, hangman word. So that then what we're gonna do is call hangman word. And then so that's gonna be kind of like if they keep saying yes to the end of every round, it's gonna just keep going in the round and until to the point they say no. So if they say no, then it's gonna print come back next time, because if you stop, then the program wants you to play again next time. So then we're gonna have this last bit of code. If name name underscore underscore name underscore underscore equals in quotation marks underscore underscore main underscore underscore, then what we're gonna do is call main. So this is just a way of saying this in Python. We don't need to cover too much in details. You can also just remove main, def main, but either way works. So if it looks like we seem to be done right here. So it looks like we're done with the Python, this Hangman Python program. And so let's do some testing just to see if this is working correctly. Uh, Also, just to make sure, the if underscore name underscore equals underscore main underscore. This is basically just checking whether a current script is being run in the main as the main program, and if it is, then it's gonna call the main function to execute the code. So it's gonna run this main right here. But this is not like too important. Like you don't need to do this. I'm just doing it in this way because it's a different way you can do call the main function. So yeah, but that's just one thing I want to mention. So now if we seem to be right there, I think we might be done. So let's check to see if this game is working correctly. So let's say we have investigation. Okay, welcome to Hangman. The word has 6 letters. Okay, something is up with that word. Because it's conflicting with that. So actually, we don't need that. We don't print word. It'll actually work. It'll work. Because what's happening is because I'm doing print word, and then in my main function I have another, word equals generate word. So we have 1 and 2. So that's why it's showing 6 letters. But now let's rerun this. So let's see. Okay, let's just rerun this, and it'll make more sense. So now let's just try guessing what it is. So let me say A. Okay, does this have 8 letters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Indeed, it does. So let's try to guess another letter. So let's say V. Okay, well, V is not the word, so it's going to print it out. So now let's see. Now if I guess A, it's going to say you cannot type letters you have already guessed. So that's exactly what you need to do. You cannot type letters you've already guessed. So let's do A, B. See, you can only type one alphabetic letter. So see, it says you can only type one alphabetic letter. And let's say 1, 2, or just 1. It says you can only type one alphabetical letter. So then it's just going to stick at 7 tries. Let me see. What do you think this could be? So let's just do I. Okay, I isn't the... Oh, I think I know what this word is. It looks like airplane. Let's try. R? Yes, it is. So P. And if you guess uppercase L, it'll convert that to lowercase l, which indeed works. So let me guess uppercase N is going to convert that to lowercase n, and see if that's in the word, which indeed it is. So, okay, I wonder what this last letter is going to be. How is airplane spelled? Okay, yeah, it's E. Alright, yay, there we go. We have won the game. The word was airplane. So it's going to prompt us to say play again. Yes. So let me just say yes. All in uppercase. It's going to convert this to lowercase and check. Convert this to lowercase. Yes. So indeed, yes, it has us another round. So let's do another. So B is not the word. So 7 tries. Okay. All right. Good thing it's gonna it's actually converting a new. It's for each round. It's actually generating a new word. So that's working well. So let me intentionally just lose this game. All right. Let me just say PA. Well, yeah, that's gonna give us say. Well, you can only type one alphabetic letter. And let me just guess this. Well, no. You can only type one alphabetic letter. So let me just intentionally lose. So P is not in the word. L is not in the word. M is not in the word. N is in the word. Let me guess N again. It's saying you cannot type letters you already guessed. So let me just say M. I mean, I already guessed that. So Y. Yeah, it's not in the word. And C. Let me just guess C. Okay. Good. Okay. I do not want to win this game accidentally. So D. Okay, it's not in the word. E. Oh my god. Okay, I have... Okay, G. Okay, let's see. Oh, it is in the word. Okay. Let me just say I. Oh my god. I don't want to... Oh, yay. There we go. So the word was teaching, which indeed is correct. So there we go. It seems to work everything correctly. Sorry you have run out of tries. It's the same way as saying you lose. But just, you can say it this way as well. But basically, it seems to work to me. There we go. So let's say no. And I want to come back next time, yeah. And if I stop this, I can run again. Say it just, you can just keep playing as much as you want. So this is basically all of our code. And we are done with the Python Hangman series. Let's go. So this is very fun. I enjoyed doing this Python Hangman series. It's a quick fun project to, use all of the skills we've learned so far in the series. So this is a very good accomplishment. We have finished this Hangman project. So if you want, you can you can use all of this code and just play as much as you want. Play a whole day. You could play for a week. You could just play for one time. You could play as much as you want. But this is the entire code for the game.